Hey everybody, how's it going? I just got a new toy and wanted to do a quick unboxing and just show everybody what I got because I'm wondering, is this still the best gun? You know, in 2026. I think so. I'm going to give you some reasons why, but first let's show you what we got here. So we can get the box to stay open there. This is the Bodyguard 2.0 in Flat Dark Earth OD Green. It's going to come with a 10 round mag there, and then this specific version, let me get that out of the way, is also going to come with 1, 2, and 3 of the 12 round mags, which is pretty cool. I don't know of any of the other versions that are going to come this way, so it may just be this one alone. So this is everything that's going to come in the box. Let's go ahead and take this off first. There we go. Get the last round out of there. So you're going to get your manual. It's going to come with a lock, and that's going to be about it. Smith & Wesson does not include a very nice box with most of their handguns. So a few things that I wanted to test on it are, well, first of all, let's try this. Can we get, I'm going to rip this box open. Can we get 12 rounds into the 12 round magazine? So, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that is getting tough already, surprisingly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that is stiff. Oh, 10. Okay. Yeah, here's where we're going to run into a problem and possibly dent our round. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I may need a mag lula or to just set these things up. It can push it down, but it's having trouble. All right, well, let's try the 10 rounder that it came with. Another thing, if you notice on these mags, they came with some marks on the top there. I'm guessing that's some QC, whereas only 2 of them came that way, and the other 2 did not. So, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I was able to load the 10 rounder, no problem. You can see it, the indicator right there. I don't know if that shows up on camera. Yeah, all 10 went in there. So we're gonna have to work on these 12 rounders and make them a little looser. All right, the next thing that I wanted to check out was the magazine release. Do all of the magazines drop free? Yep. Now this may be a different story when they're loaded, but it's good when you get your gun to just test out these magazines and see how they, yeah, no problem. One thing I'm noticing is this thing is a little bit gritty. I'm going to put it close to the camera and just push it in and out and in and out and see if you guys can hear the sound that it's making. That is not a smooth sound. So hopefully that'll break in. Also, as far as pulling back the slide, this is not easy. Like, I'm not sure. I know that my mom could not do that. And my wife, she might have trouble too. This is not a super easy thing to do. So that's interesting. It's definitely coming very stiff. I haven't cleaned this yet. Haven't really done anything to it. So, good thing to note there. So the Cerakote that comes on these guys, I've heard, is not that great. And I've seen a few pictures where it has, you know, just putting it in and out of the holster and general wear and tear has rubbed the Cerakote off. So I may send this in and get the slide coat by either Defiant Machine Works or Slideworks Engineering. And if I get the optic cut right there, they have the option to re-Cerakote it, so that'll get that done. And then this, I thought this was injection molded plastic that was colored, that was dyed, but that is not the case. If you look down in that magwell, you'll see that it's black in there. So you actually just have black plastic that has been spray painted on the outside. So that's, wonder if we can see inside of there and see that it's just black plastic on the inside there. So that's definitely going to wear off. I have some plans for this. I'm going to probably color fill this to match the green, and I may even spray paint, you know, these odds and ends to make it pretty before I go out and shoot it and get it all dirty and used up, because this is going to be my everyday carry. I have a couple of other, I guess I can just bring them out now. I have a couple of other Smith & Wessons that I've used over the years. This is the Shield Plus. I love this gun. I haven't even shot it that much, but I just like how it feels in the hand. It's a very cool pistol. I like it. The Shield X was already out when this was out, but I thought I'd go with the one that had the proven reliability over time. I don't know. I didn't see what the Shield X really offered. And then this is the full-size M&P 9. This is the original. This is not the 2.0. So it's the older model. So let's see. Oh, holster. So I have a holster on the way from Bradec or Bradtech holsters. But this is the DeSantis U7. And it has the sticky outside. It has a nice cloth inside there, and the gun seems to fit perfectly. Now, this is the U7, and I had this from when I had my original M&P, what was it? The Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard 380. That was the old version of this, the Bodyguard 1.0, if you want to call it. And this one seems to fit perfectly in the same thing. If you look, I don't know if you can see the end there, it's almost comes to the end there. That's exactly where you want it to end, right there. So if you're looking for the correct size for your Bodyguard 380, I would get the U7. If you've got the carry comp, I probably wouldn't, but for this guy, this is the one I'd go with. One thing that I did notice when I first took it out, it seems like the spring end is sticking out quite a bit, and I noticed that when I first took it out, it looked pretty bad. It was like right around there. And I thought, man, that really doesn't look right. But I think that's a function of it just being a brand new gun, because as soon as I started playing with it a little bit, it slipped forward a little bit. I don't know if you saw that when I let go. It just kind of slipped forward a little bit. And then if I push on it, it goes even further. Now, I saw somebody online that had taken the spring out, and I guess it's compression fit. They just put it in a vise and squished it together a little bit more, and it doesn't stick out so much. So that may be something that I try in the future. The night sights. On the carry comp model, they are a bright yellow, and I saw that in the store, and the bright yellow, it honestly looks so much better than this orange. The reason that I got this was just because when I'm carrying my shield around, it's just, I can feel it. It's just a little bit big, and I wanted something that I could throw into my pocket, as well as conceal carry just a little bit better. And that's why I ended up going with this, was the size. And so that's why I also opted to not go with the carry comp model, was because of the size. I didn't want to run into length issues or size issues in any way. I wanted it to be as comfortable as possible, because I was leaving my shield at home. And I need a gun that I'm going to want to take with me, and then it's just going to disappear, but be there when I need it. And so that's why I went with this model. One of the complaints is the sights, how far they are centered. Because everybody's shooting low and left. I don't know if I got a model that did that or not. Only time is really going to tell. It's hard to tell there on the camera whether or not they're centered. One thing that you can see is if you look right there, I can see a little scuff mark. I don't know if that's visible on camera or not. So the sights were definitely pushed in from that direction, at least on the front. On the back here, yeah, it's the same thing. You can see the little scuff marks where it messed up the paint. So the sights were pushed in that direction. When people try to take these sights out, the sights out, they tend to push them that way. I have a feeling that if people push their sights out in that direction, from left to right, that they would have a much easier time with this gun. Let's see. The safety. Another thing that people have had some complaints about, how hard it is to actuate. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that is pretty tough. It's harder to push up than it is to push down, but look at what that's doing to the end of my thumb just by doing that. So yeah, I'm probably going to do the little trick of pushing it on the spring to lighten that up a little bit. Most of the time this is going to be carried in a holster, so I'm just going to leave it off for the most part. So let's see, what else do we need to take a look at? Oh, the feed ramp. All right, so let's go ahead and pop that off. There we go. So people were having issues saying that there was a lip on their feed ramp. Now I'm not seeing that. Is that a... I think I have a little dog hair in mine. It's amazing when you have a dog. It'll get anywhere, even before you even shot your gun. It'll get in there. Let's take the spring out here. And the barrel. Gosh, that almost looks like the nitride is not even on there. This looks like it may have been polished from the factory. I wonder if, because people were complaining about these, yeah, there's no lip there. There's nothing for there to catch on. I wonder if they went back and repolished these before they left the factory, because that is nice and smooth and it does not have the nitride coating on there. I'm not too worried about the nitride because these guys are stainless steel. So I just don't think it's going to be an issue. Being that they're stainless steel with any rust going on. Well, some people were having issues putting their spring on, but I didn't seem to have any issue there. Alright. Slide it back in. Twist that back down. Well, and that's it. Oh, you know what? One more thing before we go. I wanted to see... Find the empty mag here. It felt to me... And let's get... the one for the shield. We'll stick that in. And we'll do it on the full size as well. It felt to me like I had more grip on this than I did on this. So I brought the calipers into the house here to do an actual measurement. Now this is going to be somewhat approximate, but let's see, did I zero those? Yeah, that's 0. Okay. We've got here, I'm just going to go right to the corner there and right to the end of the magazine. We're going to call that 2.07 inches. Make sure the camera got that. Okay. Now let's do the same thing on the Shield Plus. Oh yeah, I'm shrinking the calipers down here already, so I know it's going to be less. There you go, 1.773. Yeah, so that's quite a bit less grip. Let's verify that with the 13 rounder. And see if I get my, yeah, I can, my pinky does slightly go off the end there, even with the 13 round on the Shield Plus. Let's see what the calipers say on that one. Let me get it right in the butt of it there. 2.237. So 2.243. And then let's do this one and go with, oh, we filled up the 12 round. Let's take the rounds out real quick and measure that. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I have so many other 12 rounds sitting around here. Whatever, doesn't matter. So we're at 2.243 with the 13 round. With the 12 round, we've got 2.447. Wow, so, and let's check that with the pinky. Yeah, my pinky is just about dead even with the end of that. Maybe I can twist it and you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, the fat of my pinky right there is just about dead even with the end of that. So I get a better grip on this 380 Bodyguard than I do on my M&P Shield with the 13 rounder in there. That is crazy. Now, this is a bigger grip, so that it may hold better in the hand. But yeah, my fingers wrap around and almost touch right there. But yeah, I can get a deeper grip, which means a more controlled shot. And 380 is going to give you a more controlled shot anyways. So it really just depends on how snappy this gun is, how much, you know, muzzle flip it's going to have when I'm shooting it. But this may be my new favorite gun. So I think that's just about everything to go over. Yeah, we've gone over the thumb safety, being fairly difficult to actuate. The slide is very tough to pull back in comparison to my other guns. So like I said, this until it's broke in, we'll see how easy it gets when it breaks in. Oh, the trigger pull. Let's check that real quick. Well, that felt pretty nice. Let's check it on the Shield Plus. Oh, I've got the safety on. All right, I'm like, something's not right here. Interesting. I think I like the Bodyguard a little better. Yeah, that's a little interesting. Did you see that though? Let's do it again. Oops. When it snapped, and I think this is just being a new gun, it didn't go all the way forward there. And when I pulled it, it does move forward. Huh, interesting. Another thing that I'm noticing is the trigger is getting a little bit hung up if I keep my finger high. Look, right there, that little guy, let's see if we can see it real good on the camera there, is getting caught on the inside. There's a little shelf there. So where exactly do I need to push on it? Right there, it's getting caught. Right here, caught. Here, just barely. So you need to be about, I'm pushing with my fingernail is what I'm using the force with. You need to be a little below halfway on the trigger with your force when you're pulling back in order for it to not get caught on that. And if I go down here, yeah, no catch there at all. I wonder if that's something that's going to wear in as well, because I'm pretty sure that part is plastic, and it may just wear off the inside of the gun there. All right, well, that's going to be it. Hey, if you guys like this video, give me a like and subscribe. And yeah, I think the most interesting thing was finding out, you know, with the calipers showing that I have more grip on the Bodyguard versus my Shield, and a lot less weight. That's for sure. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.